What do y'all want to talk about? We just talked yesterday. We talked today too. No, hey, it's awesome to be back out there. We've got a great group of young men here that are excited about attacking our process, getting ready for the season that is coming. We have an awesome group of coaches and support staff. It was great. We had a bunch of people out at practice today. Obviously, a lot of you were out there, but our athletic director was out there supporting the players. I thought that was great. The head of the foundation was out there. I think it's awesome. We love it when kind of the campus celebrities will come out and support and watch practice and support the team. And we also had some alums out there, football alums, which was a lot of fun. I think when you get started, there's so much to try and figure out, especially in this era where you're bringing in so many new players, right? Some of them you have for spring practice, the bulk of them, but then there's also a new chunk that joins you in the beginning of June, and that you haven't been on the field with yet. So it's exciting to get out there for the first day. It was hot, which we love. I hope it gets hotter. Turn up the heat, so we can get used to battling that and really making it an advantage for us. We're excited for the stuff that's coming up with as training camp goes on, when we have the Meet the Team Day and stuff like that, where we get to engage the community. I think everybody knows how important the city of Tucson is to Arizona football. This program is powered by the city of Tucson, man. And obviously our Zona Zoo and our students and our alums are a critical part of that, but so is the city. And I think that's something that we've continued to talk about. How do we create this incredible home field advantage here in Casino del Sol Stadium? Because when we go on the road, that's what we face. And we want to put people in that same position, right? When our opponents come to Casino del Sol Stadium, we want Zona Zoo going crazy and, being a good distraction for them. I mean, that's kind of the idea, right? So there's so much to look forward to over the next, 3.5, 4 weeks. But today was a good start. I'm excited about being out there on the grass again. It's awesome to be there with the team and to see the work that they put in this summer. And we just got to keep making positive strides every single day. I'm ready for your questions.
Thank you, Coach. We'll start with Justin and then Michael. What advice would you give Noah Fafita as he prepares to get married?
How cool is that? And it's a big question. And it's tricky, right? Because if I answer it wrong, I'm going to have to deal with the problem back at my house. So I need to think about that. Let's see. I think my advice for Noah is just that, being married is hard and it's challenging. And you got to have a lot of patience and a lot of forgiveness, especially if your name's Brent Brennan, because you have to deal with a dipshit like me, Noah's such an outstanding, high-character young man. Faith is an awesome young woman. We're all excited, that they got engaged. We saw it on social media. I immediately FaceTimed him, my wife and I. We were going crazy on the phone, but I asked him on Thursday, I said, what are you up to this weekend? And he said, I'm just going home. That was it. I was like, then I see that on social media. I'm like, that's more than just going home. That's like one of the biggest moments of your life. So we're incredibly happy for Faith and Noah and both their families and excited to see what that holds for them.
Michael and David?
It seemed like you guys did a ton of team today for a first day. What is that indicative of as far as how far along you are?
I think that's both part of that, and that we do feel like we're further along because we have the same coordinator for the second year, and so there's some carryover in terms of what we do schematically. And then I also think there's a lot of new players that we need to just get playing. Like, we need to play football, and so we need to see them. Do they know what to do? How comfortable are they in the scheme? Do they have an understanding of red line? And today, we're in helmets and spiders. It's not a super physical day, so we got to do a good job of protecting each other and making the practice environment safe, but just trying to play as much football as we can.
David and then Jason.
Coach, along those lines, we saw maybe something we didn't necessarily see last year, which was a little bit more even distribution of the quarterback reps, with Noah working with what was essentially the ones and the twos, and Sawyer getting in there a lot with the ones. Is that also maybe because Seth's here, second year, and the quarterbacks are more comfortable with the scheme, that you can maybe more evenly distribute that out?
Yeah, I think so. I think as we continue to go, I think that that group of quarterbacks behind Noah, right? There's going to be movement there. Every single day. The competition is just like every other position. And I said this yesterday. Every other position, we really want to pressurize the practice environment. Well, we want there to be a lot of intensity in those reps and for those to feel each other, kind of breathing down each other's necks. And so that we're, kind of forcing everybody to be really intentional about their process, about how they learn, how they're performing, knowing that someone is coming for that opportunity every single day. And so I think, it's awesome because you have Noah, who's such a great leader. He's a great teacher. He's patient with all of them. He tries to help and teach and coach those younger players. But those younger players all know that the competition is real.
Jason and then Damian.
You've mentioned how the wide receiver room is loaded, but today he made a nice play in the spring. He played well. Caleb Smith is a true freshman. What does he have to do to get on the field, do you think?
I think, for Caleb, and, Caleb, and yesterday somebody asked me about RJ. I think for those young players, they have to demonstrate that just for baseline to know what to do because they're both really talented. And that was, the reason that we were so excited when they chose to come to the University of Arizona. And so that will play out more and more as we get going. And so I thought Caleb had a good day today for a first day. And so, just are they making the most of the opportunities they get? I tell players that all the time, especially when you're a young player, the fastest way to get on the field is to know what to do. And it's amazing how many times they struggle with that or they don't really understand exactly what that is until someone else is playing in front of them, right? Because they consistently know what to do and can perform at a high level. And so I think for those young players, it's critical that they know what to do and that they can play with some toughness and full speed.
Damian and Lindsay.
Do you find now entering fall camp that you still have the same kind of emotions or butterflies or whatever that you had earlier in your coaching career?
Absolutely. I think for me, it's more of excitement. It's excitement about what the journey that, lies ahead. And just, it's fun building a football team. And that's what, we've been doing for the last 8 months. And now we get to this part where we actually get to really, really focus on football, knowing that the opportunity to play is on the backside of training camp, right? So I think it's really exciting. I think our players are excited. Our coaching staff's excited. It's fun to see that energy out there, the energy in the meeting room, the energy in the locker room, the energy on the field. And so it's funny that you say that because I was thinking about this morning. I was trying to count in my head how many years I've been going to training camp, this time of year. It's been a long time. I stopped counting because the number was getting too high. And I was feeling some kind of way about that. But I feel like it's exciting every time because every team is different, right? Every team is different. Every season is different. And we're excited about this team.
Lindsay and then Brian.
Kind of going off, actually, I know you said that there was the same stress yesterday, but during stretches you're smiling, Coach Davies dancing, you guys are very excited to be back. How does it feel after today for year 3 versus your day 1 back in year 1?
Well, I think we know the place better. I think we have a better understanding of the University of Arizona, Tucson, the program, the people that are here. And then we're also much further along in the development of our culture and much further along in terms of building the program the way we think it gives us the best chance to play high level football. And so it's exciting, it's fun. And to be honest with you, I smile most of the time. Like people don't like that, but whatever. Like I'm having fun out there. I want to kick ass and win every game, but we're gonna have fun while we do it.
Brian and Justin.
For a first practice of fall camp, it looked like everything was pretty streamlined and all that. How much of that comes from the player-run practices where they've already kind of gone through knowing how to move around and get in and out so that you don't have to spend, there was a little bit of yelling, but not like a lot of what are you doing kind of stuff.
It's the worst thing to hear on a football field. What are you doing? Yeah, I would agree. I think it is a little bit different because you also do get a little bit more time with the players in the off season than you used to, and then it also depends on what the leadership of the team is. So when your best players and your leaders are driving the tempo of practice, they're driving the drill to drill, they're driving the kind of the hustle and the effort in the red line, everybody has no choice but to get on board.
Justin and Nathaniel. What stood out to you when you were looking at Zach Henning's film and how has he gone about really settling into his role at center?
Yeah, we're excited about Zach. First of all, he's an awesome human being. Just a great fit culturally. And with the portal, you don't always know that. You can't guarantee that, right? Because the recruiting process is, we've talked about before, it's like speed dating. You know what I mean? You really don't know as much as you would like to know about a player that you're taking. But just his maturity, he's tough, he's incredibly intelligent. He's really found like a great group of guys to hang out with. That O-line group has really brought him in. Because you have other good guys that are leaders on that O-line, right? Deuce and Tristan and Rhino, you know, like those guys have really brought him in, and Zach kind of fit right into that. And then, you know, what we liked about him is that his tape was impressive. You know, he started multiple games for them last year and really did a good job. And I think that he was looking, you know, wasn't sure where it was going to be, and so he's looking for a new opportunity, and we're glad he chose the University of Arizona.
Nathaniel and then Michael. Plenty of big, lanky tight ends that kind of fit the mold of what Daggy and Miller want. What are your expectations for them and what they bring to the season and the team?
We're always going to be a big tight end team. We like to play in 11. We really like to play in 12. And I think that group is going to be a lot of fun because you have, you know, it's going to be great. I mentioned yesterday to get Tyler Powell back, but then you also have Cole, who's, you know, played a lot of football and is a mature kid and a tough kid and a good player in that mix. And then you mix in, you know, Mustaine and then the young ones that, you know, those young ones are still a little bit green. And then also Shane King, who is young but really talented. So our expectations of those guys to be heavily involved in our offense. And I think, you know, getting Tyler back is a big shot in the arm for us because we really had big expectations for him last year before he was injured.
Michael and Nicole.
I was talking to Trey Smith yesterday, and he said that when he first got to San Jose State, he envisioned being there for 3 years and going to the NFL, and then he said, well, now I've kind of doubled up the time that I'm in college unexpectedly. Have you talked to him at all about just his journey and then kind of what he can get out of this last year?
Yeah, Trey's such a thoughtful guy. It's been really fun to be a part of his process, and I've been with him for all of it. You know, I think that's a unique thing at 2 different stops. But the football with him is kind of the easy part because he plays so hard and he's talented and he's twitchy and he's long. You know, that's the easy part. But like, to me, what's most impressive about Trey is how he's handled kind of the frustration and the disappointment with some of the injuries he's had. I think that sometimes gets lost on people. Like, that's not easy. You know, you work so hard, you put in so much time, so much effort, and then you have an injury that shuts you down for a season, and then you're kind of left hanging because you're still on the team, but you're not playing, and you're not in the practice, and you're not in the workout. You know, everything changes for you all of a sudden. And I think Trey's just done an amazing job of handling that.
Cole and David.
What's the biggest difference you noticed day one of practice this year, just looking at your team compared to the group you had last season?
I don't know that I can answer that question for you. It's too early. You know what I mean? It's, you know, we added 50-something new players. We're still getting to know this football team. This football team's still getting to know each other. Ask me that in a week or two, and I'll have a better answer for you.
The last two will be David and then Justin.
Coach, just to clarify, in terms of the potential to add some 5-for-5s, if that comes to fruition, are you capped at that 105 number? If you bring 2 to 5 guys back, is that force 2 to 5 to have to exit?
That's kind of part of the ongoing conversation, is that will those, like with people that are making decisions outside of our building or outside of our institution, is will those guys that get added back, will they count against that cap or not? I think it's interesting. I think it would be sad if it did, because then some places are going to be in a position where they would have to cut somebody right now to bring somebody in. So you have a young man who's been working his tail off for 8 months, doing everything right, and then you let him go in August and bring somebody else in. You know, I just think that would be tough. But again, I don't get to make those decisions, so we'll see what they decide.
We'll finish up with Justin. Well, what has it been for you to see Noah built up his foundation over the last couple of years, do camps and give back to the community? What has it been like from your perspective to see him do those kind of things?
Nothing he does ever surprises me. He's one of those rare people that's a super high profile player, but just continues to give of himself. And to me, one of the most evident ways you might see that is with the next level flag football, right? He's been coaching the same group of players his entire time in Arizona. So he's had them since they were in like second grade, I think. And now they're in seventh grade. That's right, I think, sixth or seventh grade. And they win the whole thing every year. So all the other little kids are all pissed off because Noah's team always wins the next level thing, you know. But the reason I bring that up is because when you come here on a Sunday in the off season and you see our players out here, and one of them being Noah, who's, you know, obviously the highest profile player on our team, he's taking pictures and signing autographs and being friendly and talking to fans, and he always has time for people. And it's just really, really special to have a player of his caliber choose to do all the right things in the community like he does. And building up his foundation, his camp that you know, this year I think, you know, he tripled in size. You know, the golf tournament that he had in the middle of July, you know, just and just all the people from the community and the teammates and that came out and the coaches that came out to support it. I think it just speaks to how truly unique Noah Fafita is.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Bear down.
Thank you. Players are doing cold tubs, so it might be just a couple minutes. Let me turn these. Come on, hey, Jet, man. You gotta catch at the end. That was a nice play.
It was a nice play. Kid's super talented, and he's tough, and he's, you know, like big time high school football in Texas. So these kids are, you know, they don't sometimes have a little bit of a jump start when they get to the 4-year place. But he's also hungry because he got hurt explosion, more athleticism, more speed. You know, so, because everyone's like, oh, you know, my kid runs 4.4. Like, come on, man. You know, like, very few people in the world truly run 4.4.
Yeah.
So, but the track times are they're all electronic, and there's no, your girlfriend or your dad's not keeping the time. Oh yeah, Brent Brennan.
And they even point out if there's wind.
Yeah.
I think it was Davey or Oglesby, they were saying that he, one,
So he made the World Series and now he's viral and everyone wants to talk to him.
It was very humid in Chapel. It was great. We don't have that here.
Fortunately not. Yeah. If it was both, that would be tough. If it was 107, also 90%,
Yeah,
would really be tough.
we're gonna go for, we're gonna go high.
We were defeated from
Noah, can you tell us about your weekend, this past weekend?
Yeah, I'm guessing we're talking about the engagement?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I got engaged this weekend on Sunday. I'm starting to get in my camp day, so I don't really know what day it is today. I just know it's day one. But Sunday, the day before we came back, I got engaged to my girlfriend, so super excited.
What did that moment mean to you?
A lot. I'm grateful for the moment, but it was more for her. It was a big time moment for her, and that's something that she's deserved for a long time. So she's blessed me in a lot of ways. She's definitely held it down for me off the field, and allowed me to kind of focus on the field. So I'm super grateful for her.
What went into the timing before the season and everything?
There's kind of two things. She's been waiting on it for a long time. She's deserved it for a long time. So to be able to kind of give that to her was super special for me. I felt like God put it on my heart that was the right time to do it. And then also it's kind of something to kind of hold her off, because I know fall camp's going to be super busy for us, but I'm not going to be able to spend a lot of time with her as well. So it's kind of something that she's deserved, but also kind of an affirmation for her of my appreciation.
Michael and David?
Trey, you're kind of in the same position that Stoops was in last year, kind of getting that extra year that you weren't expecting. Is there anything you can take from the way he handled it as you enter this sixth and final season?
Yeah, Stoops is somebody that I definitely look up to, and he just handled everything like a pro. But on top of that, just his mindset, like who he was as a human off the field as well as on the field, and then seeing him go into a different mode when he steps in between the lines, like that's something I think about and would like to continue as my own success. Yeah.
David and Lindsay?
No, just obviously you got a chance to see you work with several different position groups today in terms of the personnel groupings and out there. Is that a byproduct maybe of you and Seth being more comfortable with each other, you being comfortable with the offense, that we saw a little bit something more than we saw last year?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that go into that. That's definitely a big thing, being able to be, that's kind of the common thing, being in year two of the offense. There's a continuity, there's a confidence that comes with that. And then also, I've spoken on it a little bit in the past, but when I talk about the depth that we have on offense, specifically at our skill positions and in that receiver room, we got guys that are going to make an impact in every aspect. So being able to take those reps and take those opportunities, allow the offensive line to hear your voice, but also gather that timing and gain those reps and chemistry with some of the guys that I might not be able to get a lot of reps with the first team is super big, and that's going to help us in the long run.
Lindsay and Justin?
You guys, you guys have both had long journeys to get here. What does it feel like knowing today was your last first day, and what are the emotions going into this year?
I would just say bittersweet. You know, we've had very different journeys, obviously, but it's been a blessing nonetheless. Just everything you've been through, you know, molds you into who you are and shapes your character. So it's a bittersweet feeling, but it's great.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a blessing to be able to get out there and definitely trying to enjoy it a little more. This year's been going by super fast, but being able to kind of be at that fall camp practice, and my mom was there, my fiance was there, and also my little brother running around too. It was awesome to be there, and we got a lot of work to do to get where we want to be.
Justin and Nicole?
No, now that you've been working with him for the last several months, Zach Henning, how has it been just seeing him settle into the offensive line, and what kind of player is he?
He's a true professional in every aspect. His preparation's unmatched. He lives in the center room, and it's awesome to see that because he's already so smart. So when you take somebody that's that cerebral and that smart, and you add the preparation and the process aspect to it, you're naturally going to get a great player. And then you go on top of the person that he is and the way he interacts with people. You love being around him. We spend a lot of time with each other, me and him. Like I told you before, he's probably the best golfer on the team. So spending a lot of time with him on the links, building that chemistry, and then also having the O-line at the house and just eating with them. There's a trust, there's a belief there, and you can kind of see them continuing to gain confidence playing with each other.
Cole and Michael?
No, just having your coach say the things that he does about selling you as a Heisman candidate and all that stuff. What does that mean to you, having somebody in your corner like that?
Yeah, it's such a blessing. And it really never gets old, being able to hear those compliments, being able to, and it's not just on camera. He compliments me, and he supports me in so many ways off the camera as well. So that's just the type of guy he is, and you could talk about that with everybody, Coach Brennan, Coach Deggy, and Coach Gonzalez. So the belief that they have in me definitely gives me confidence, allows me to go play with conviction and rip it, knowing they have my back. But it also, I wouldn't say pressure, but there's also a privilege and kind of an opportunity to go prove them right.
Michael and Justin?
One question for each. For Trey, what role do you play or do you try to play with the freshmen who are in your defensive line?
I do my best to model the way for those guys, right? I've been here for going on 3 years now, and I've been in college for going on 6. So I just do my best to be the best person I can, because at the end of the day, you got to start with yourself and just show them the ropes.
Sure. And then for Noah, I don't think you threw the pass, but Caleb Smith made kind of an awesome catch today between 2 defenders down the field. What do you think of him so far?
Yeah, I want to speak on both of them. Caleb, it's kind of weird to say Caleb. Jet and RJ, those two are both professionals, and I know we say it a lot, it's kind of throwing that professional word out there, but those are two guys that have never been on our accountability board. You never have a problem with them being late. You never have a problem with them missing meals or being late to meetings or missing class. Those guys have never been an issue. And then you talk about the way that they work. They're guys that put their head down and work, and that's how you want to be, especially as a freshman. You're coming in to earn your stripes, and that's exactly what they did. They didn't talk. They came in and just got about their business, got through their work, and you saw the strides that Jet made in spring. And I remember telling him one day, I told him, and then Coach Deggy told him right in front of the whole offensive unit that he was going to play this year because of the way he carries himself, because of the confidence and the speed that he plays with. And then you talk about RJ, who wasn't able to practice at the beginning of spring, so he was kind of trying to get back in rehab, and then you see him take off in summer PRPs. I think I called my dad about him probably 2 weeks ago. I think he was 4 for 5 in terms of 50-50 balls in spring in summer workouts when there's no cameras there. And then you saw him track the 5-yard out route he ran today. He has a natural instinct for catching the football. He has a great route running, and then he has underrated speed too. He's a 6'4" guy, and he hit 22 miles per hour in the summer. So both of those guys are extremely special, and they're special people.
Justin and David. Trey, you've been leading the way for a guy like Prince Williams. When you think about what he's been able to do over the last several months, what stands out to you? What is Arizona's defense getting out of a player like him?
I would say excuse me, the biggest thing about a guy like Prince is just his motor. Like, we all have different needs as individuals, and at the end of the day, you're going to need help at some point. We're here to lean on each other. But Prince is a guy that you don't really have to push too much to get himself going. He's pretty intrinsically motivated, so yeah, he's going to be a dog.
David and then Brian.
Trey, in the spring, your teammates labeled you as Mr. Redline. What does it mean for you to kind of carry that moniker of the program? And for Noah, why is that the right moniker for a player like Trey?
I would say that's a blessing, man, because that's, nicknames. Some people have nicknames that people call them in their lives and their families, and it goes into the locker room. But something like that, you don't really just give yourself. And I just do my best to be the best individual I can, knowing that will help raise the collective as well. So guys like Noah, Tay Brown, who's also known as Mr. Redline, he's definitely somebody that I'm chasing after, because it's like, all right, who's going to be more Redline? And Tay, I think he usually gets it, but I'm fighting to get there.
Yeah, I think when you talk about Redline, we talk about the standard of Arizona football and what we want to be seen as, what we want to be known as across the country. Trey Smith represents that, and he's probably the best representation of Arizona football and what we want to be. I've told many people that he's probably the best person I've ever been around in terms of personality and just the way that he connects with people, the way he takes care of people. And then you add the fact what he's able to do on the field, it goes hand in hand.
Brian and Lindsay.
Trey, with the amount of turnover that there was in the secondary, considering how big that group was last year, how important is it on the defensive line to be you have much more pressure as far as getting to the quarterback, so that this newer group isn't maybe as much on an island?
I would say obviously just pressure and coverage go hand in hand, right? So they do their job, that helps us out, and we do our job, and that helps them out. It's not something that we're worried about. It's just raising the group overall, front and back end. So that's about it.
Lindsay and then Nathaniel.
Noah, coming into this season is probably the most attention you've gotten so far in your career, but I know you said no one has more expectations than you do of yourself. What are some personal standards or just goals that you have for your final year?
Yeah, that's a great question. For me, it's all team oriented, and I don't want to speak too much about the outcome goals, but the outcome goals are clear, and we've said it a lot, and we're not going to shy away from it. The outcome goals are a Rose Bowl and a Big 12 championship. So that's my mindset, that's my expectations and the standard I have for myself. But at the end of the day, what we talked about yesterday with Coach Brennan and the team is about the process. So we know what our outcome goals are, and now we're going to dive into the process and what we need to do to give us a chance to be able to start that.
Nathaniel and Justin.
Yeah, playing big, lanky guys in the tight end room would kind of fit the exact mold that Nagy and Miller wanted. So what kind of advantage that gives you on the offense, and what do you expect to see from those guys going into the season?
Yeah, it gives us versatility for sure. I love that room, and you go down the list. I think we got so much depth in that room that has so many different attributes and abilities. And I've talked a lot about Coach Miller and the respect and the awe I have of him, not just as a coach. I think he's one of the better position coaches I've ever been around. But when you talk about mentality, he's right up there with Coach Nagy in terms of that. So that room, I know he's going to have that room ready to go. And then you go talk about the depth that we have. It gives us versatility for sure. It allows us to run the ball in 11 personnel, allows us to still be explosive in 12 personnel, because if they're going to put a linebacker on any of these tight ends that we have out there, we're definitely going to try to exploit it.
Our last two will be Justin and Jason.
Why was it important a couple years ago to start your foundation, and then just what has it been like for you to watch it grow over the last couple years and be a part of so many things that you guys are doing?
Yeah, it's been such a blessing being able to watch it grow for sure, because for so many reasons. First of all, we're able to get into the community and support a community that has had my back and that's loved my family the way it has for the last 5 years. And then also, I've been able to continue to just try to fulfill what my true purpose is on this earth and advance His kingdom. And our nonprofit I don't want it to be about me, which is why I didn't put my name on it. I didn't put my last name on it. It's because I don't want people to hear the foundation and think that I'm doing it for my name. It's about God in every way, and we're trying to imitate Him. We're trying to point people to Him, and that's what our goal is. And I think it's awesome because I just talked about this, but we started the nonprofit after probably the worst loss I've ever taken in my college football career, which was the team up north in Tucson in 24. That's when we came up with the idea. So God put that idea on my heart at one of my lower moments, and being able to watch how He's allowed that to grow in Tucson is amazing.
We'll finish up with Jason.
When you look at the guys behind you in the quarterback room, they're playing for a future spot potentially. What's your advice to them and how they handle this season and kind of moving forward?
Yeah, to be themselves, and I try to tell them every day is just you're competing. At the end of the day, it is a competition for sure, but you're competing with yourself. You're trying to be the best that you can be. You're trying to control your reps, your opportunities, and at the end of the day, the best player is going to play. And I think they're all doing a tremendous job in terms of process and in terms of their preparation, because I think we are talking in a high level in the quarterback room. So watching Saul and Luke, the way that they've grown in spring, the way that their confidence and they're playing a lot faster and playing more convicted. So they're definitely taking a step in the right direction, and it's been great watching them grow up. And then Oscar, being able to watch him get on the field in pads for the first time today, you see the natural ability he has.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.